go. I don't do it for the shirts, the likes, the fame, the hype. They can change overnight. Hoping that brand that I say something right, that'll touch your soul and convert your life. I do it for my seed to come. Albert, I will be done. I do it for the kingdom to come, knowing this war is already won. I do it for the enemy, disrespect, putting prayers all across his neck. Let me tell you.
So the question is expectations legitimate in relationships?
You gotta say it with your chest. Are expectations legitimate in a relationship? I'm telling you, it's a hot topic because I be here. When it really get to talking about this, I heard so many people be like, no, they're not legitimate. Yes, they are legitimate. So I really want to hear from the people on their answers and what they feel pertaining to this topic.
I mean, I feel like expectation is needed because
You say what?
I feel like expectations are needed.
Or needed?
Yeah, expectations are needed because
Okay.
I feel like without a vision, what is the aim? What is the goal?
You say who?
I say, can you hear me?
I hear you now. I hear you.
No, I say because without a vision or an aim or a goal, like what you need a vision, you need an aim and a goal.
When
So
it
I feel like yes,
expectations.
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
So when you think of vision, so you equivalent expectations with a vision or a goal.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Like expectations, like uh, how would you or how do you view it? Like what's your take on
I
it
view
on the
expectations is you're expecting something.
right?
You're
Yeah,
expecting something from someone you're looking forward to. You're expecting it to happen. You're looking forward to it happening.
oh, the end, most definitely, yeah.
So
So yeah,
expectations. She's talking about some good. Or whoever her Harris, I think that's Ray 151. I hope I'm saying it right. But
yes,
so that's how I view expectations is because the reward of expectations is expecting.
yes, right.
So and I say it's a hot topic because most people say that there should expectations is wrong in the relationship or having expectations is wrong. So that's what expectations is. It's expecting, it's looking forward to you fulfilling, doing,
Right. It
happening.
kind of made me think. It kind of made me think about servitude, like going back to the topic when we were talking about love. And he was saying like how it's about servitude, how it's about like serving each other needs.
I wouldn't I wouldn't really look at it. It could boil down to servitude can be a
Yeah.
part of expectations. But no, expectations is I'm looking forward to you doing. Period.
Yeah.
So that's why the question is are expectations legitimate in a relationship? Because so many people I've heard say no, that they are wrong, the expectations are not right. I've heard people say, yeah, it is, but I've heard more than the majority say that they are wrong and their expectations are not right. And and for me though, to get around to answering that, I for sure feel like expectations are legitimate. I know they are legitimate in a relationship. But some people say it's not, and it really has nothing to do with a servitude. Now, heart of servitude can be connected with expectations,
Right.
to
Yeah.
in the cause of helping something to happen. But
Right.
expectations is I'm flat out expecting.
Thanking. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
expecting, like, no, you should
yeah.
be doing like.
Yeah.
So for me, yes, expectations are legitimate. Period. In a relationship.
Okay.
Now, most
Well.
probably wouldn't agree, and most probably will argue a difference. And I've seen people do it, but yes, it is. Yes, because I feel like without expectations, then really, what are you working on?
Exactly. What's up with the
And
green
where do
tips? We got
expectations come from?
right.
And I want to talk about legitimate expectations and illegitimate expectations.
Yeah, because there is a difference. Yeah,
Yeah, they are different.
yeah.
There is a difference with legitimate expectations and
Any
illegitimate
illegitimate
expectations,
expectation.
which
Yeah.
kind of go back to people's argument when it comes down to this argument. You know, you have people that say that expectations are wrong. People should not be in relationships and expect and have expectations, and then I feel like it's a boundary of what people that are in relationships and have legitimate expectations, but nevertheless expectations are legitimate in a relationship. Now,
Right.
to kind of get on the topic of illegitimate, let me ask you, Tay, what would you say illegitimate expectations in a relationship are?
Illegitimate.
Illegitimate expectations, because I agree, I raise my hand that I agree that expectations are legitimate in a relationship.
Right.
I do. So, but I do think that there are illegitimate expectations, and I believe that there are legitimate expectations. So I'm asking you to start off with, what do you feel some illegitimate expectations are?
Illegitimate expectations. I feel like some Apple terms of they will fall in place of like saying like you expect your partner to cheat on you or something like that. Like something that's like contrary or contradicting the relationship or something that doesn't bring value to the relationship.
Well, you
I'll
know what?
say that's a
I mean, that's kind of an expectation that kind of blew me, but I can kind of get what you're saying. But that make me think, if you're expecting your partner or something to cheat, or thinking that you have some brokenness in there, like,
yeah,
that's a whole nother level, because why is you expecting your partner to cheat or something like that? No, that means you got some brokenness in there. Now, okay, you want to run off any more illegitimate expectations you believe that could be illegitimate?
mhm. Well, illegitimate because well, what would you say? What would you? I
No, I'm
want
just asking you. I'm letting you get in there. Okay. Well, I feel illegitimate expectation is anything that you're expecting that you have not spoken
to.
on. It's just like saying, I expect for you to do this, even though you've never stated that to your mate, you never stated that
Mm,
in a relationship, that is. So I feel like anytime when you're expecting something that have not been spoken on, that's
because
illegitimate, whether you're
they never.
basing it off of what somebody else is doing, what happened in somebody else's relationship, whatever that expectation is. If it's an expectation that have not been spoken on and they have not been laid on the table,
Right.
that's a bogus expectation. And that's an expectation that causes conflict. And that's an expectation where people be saying, I'm not a mind reader. You can't be, it's just like, I'm expecting, you should have known to do that. Well, how should have
If
known
you
that that's what you
never
wanted? Or how,
communicated.
yeah, if you never stated. So to me, an illegitimate expectation is any expectation that is only in one partner's mindset,
Mm-hmm.
meaning you're the only one aware of it, but you've never stated it
Right.
to your significant other or your partner. But you're expecting that though,
Right.
and to be like, oh well, you should have known that. That's an illegitimate expectation.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that ain't a fair playing ground.
Exactly. You ain't right. You ain't even give the partner a chance
Yeah, to
to
know.
even to yeah, to
Yes.
even be able to act upon the expectation. Yeah. Nah,
So, and I feel legitimate expectations. And this is where I feel like people should be careful and speak in balance when it comes to expectation. Is I'm expecting you, because first of all, let's go back. How can you not have expectations in a relationship?
exactly.
Because people say you shouldn't. Expectations are wrong in a relationship, but how can you not have expectations in any kind of relationship?
Exactly.
And
It goes back
expectations
to.
come from, say for instance, me and you, Tay, right?
Mm-hmm.
We start talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
however we get around to talking, right? So in the midst of us talking and get to knowing each other, there are things you're gonna tell me about you, right? There are
Right.
things that you're gonna be like, I like, doing this or that or that or that. I'm not a man who's gonna disrespect a
Mm-hmm.
woman, and blah, 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 whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time that you're stating something about yourself, or I'm stating something about myself, guess what? Right there, that creates the bounds of expectation. Because if you say that you're a man and you don't disrespect women and call women out of their names, and it's just hypothetically
Oh,
things
so
that
you
so if you're saying that, guess what? I'm expecting
right,
you
right.
to follow
For you
through
to
in that
hold up,
that you said.
yeah, to hold up your bargain, yeah, what you
What
say,
you said.
yeah.
So when that time come, and say for instance that you run into a situation where a woman has tried you, right? But you said, I'm not a man. I don't care under any
Mm-hmm.
circumstances. I'm not disrespecting a woman because these is my values. These is my morals.
Right.
A woman, she get disrespectful. What, I'll walk away. If it be unto you that you're able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
I will walk away, right? And so that time comes, right? And
Right.
you're expecting. I'm expecting, like, okay, I'm expecting you to respond as you said you would
Right.
respond when it came to a situation like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how expectations are created. And that's
Yes.
why I feel like it's a bogus statement when people say that expectations are wrong in a relationship.
Right.
Because you hear it more often than you don't hear it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but people being like, oh no, expectations are wrong. People should. I feel like where relationships go wrong because people have expectations. Well, hold up, it's hard to be in a relationship without expectations.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if I'm not expecting anything from you, then what are we doing?
Exactly. Now that makes sense. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and then too, like people that do say that, it made me think like it's a relationship with no boundaries and no understanding.
Yes.
And then too, that leaves room for illegitimate expectations because since you never laid a foundation or a boundary on the table, when somebody do something they make you upset, you snapping and stuff. It's like hold up, but we never laid the foundation. We never laid the
So
expectation down.
that's where the no boundaries come in. So a
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
relationship without expectations is a relationship without boundaries.
Right.
So how can you expect anything? So yeah,
Exactly.
if a person did that, you can never say that, nah, that ain't what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because really they never said anything.
Exactly.
So to so really for any relationship to be in it, expectations will always be the forefront of that
Yeah.
relationship because in the process of getting to know a person or talking, whether a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they're telling you who they are. It's hard to not know a person without
Yeah.
them telling you
Exactly.
something about them,
Communicate.
their
Yeah.
morals, their values, what they stand for, what they will, what they won't do. Now, don't get me wrong, things do happen. And I know sometimes things can alter and change. But guess
Mm-hmm.
what? How can an expectation be expected if you never said that this is what you were, or this is how you react, or this is what you would do?
Right.
It's just like a man getting with a woman, or woman saying, oh, well, I'm a woman, and I cook and I clean and I'm gonna make sure my man this and that.
Mm-hmm.
These are my values.
Right.
These are my core. And then that man get with that woman and she don't do none of what you said.
Right.
So is that man wrong? Is that an illegitimate expectation that he's seeking from you
Right.
after you said you was this kind of woman, or
Exactly.
that you do this or you do that? So
Exactly.
people must understand that expectations are created through the process of getting to know someone.
Yeah. It is.
it's,
It
it's,
is.
it's like hard to not have them. So when people say that expectations are wrong in a relationship, I feel like just that whole concept and way of thinking is contradictory to the whole process of how you get to know someone.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
Because I'm
that makes
expecting you to do and be everything that you said you were going to do and be.
right.
Other than
Right.
that, you're like, why am I expecting it then?
Right.
Then now you're
And,
telling me I'm walking in the bounds of illegitimate
mm,
expectation, meaning that something you've never spoken, but I'm expecting you to do it. Now that's a dangerous expectation,
mm-hmm.
because how you going to be expecting something that was never
Never
even
was. Yeah.
laid, the foundation was laid for.
Right.
So now that's a lie. It's just only in your head.
Hmm. Nah, boss. For real. Now that makes sense. That makes
No,
sense.
I'm for real, because that's why I just want the people. I'm like, I want the people to come through, because people say this more often than they don't. And I'm like, really listen to yourself. How can you be in any kind of relationship without expectations?
Exactly. You can't. You
I think
can't.
it should be worded different, that, expectations unspoken or illegitimate,
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't even give me the grounds to even, amen, God be the glory. So we should change that scenario when we say that expectations are wrong in a relationship, and we should say illegitimate, because it's hard to be in a relationship without
Without
expectations.
expectations. Yeah,
I'm
you expect.
sorry. You
Yeah.
said you were this. This is
Exactly.
how I got to know. Now,
Especially
we ain't talk
in
about,
marriage. Especially in marriages when you
so
make
if you
that
said you're
vow.
gonna be with me through sick or poor, goodness, health, riches,
That's an
I'm
yeah.
expecting.
Right.
Why are you walking out the door because the money have ran low? You
Exactly.
said through richer or poor.
Exactly.
I'm expecting. You
Right.
vowed that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
legitimate expectations come from something that have been laid as something you said you would do.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think we need to change the scenario. And I hope this bless somebody later on, if they don't see it now, that the scenario should be changed to the expectations are not wrong, but
Right.
illegitimate
Yeah, the
expectations,
unspoken ones. Yeah.
right, is wrong.
Right.
Because that's when it goes into the mind reading.
Exactly. Right. And it's really unfair too for the other person. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
How you mad at them? How you mad at them because you was expecting them to do something that you never even gave them a running start to even know
right.
that that's what you
Um,
wanted.
a question just popped in my mind too. Like, let's say if it's not spoken, but it's done repeatedly. Like, let's say, right, you with the guy, right,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy, let's just say, like every 3 weeks he takes you out on a date, right, and it's repeated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a routine thing. It's a routine thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, in like one whole month, he just don't do it no more. Do you think, since y'all had done it so many times, think it should become an expectation since it's routine?
You know what? But that could be a tricky area, because I do see what you're saying. Because now there is a place where I get what you're saying. You did it. You've done it. You've done it. You've done it. Now I feel like a heart that can slip into a place of expectation and just expect, even though it's never been stated, but in a
Hmm.
way it's like you are stating, because actions do state things. But
Right.
I feel like it's a place where we have to stay in a place of gratefulness too, or thankfulness, and not come to complacency, meaning
Mm.
that it's something that has to be done. It's
Done
just
right.
like, okay, say for instance, a co-worker of mine, we work together, right?
Hmm.
And for a year straight, you bring me a snack every Monday. Kind of go back to what you were saying,
Hmm.
right? If
Yeah.
I'm not careful, my heart could slide into a place of
Expectation.
expectation,
Yeah.
expecting, instead of
Yeah.
staying in a place of gratefulness,
Yeah.
that this is something that they just choose to do. So
Right. They
if
don't have
any
to do it.
day they
Yeah.
stop,
I
I'm
can't get
not
mad.
upset.
Right.
I'm not mad. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it could raise the question in your head to be like, well, dang, what happened? I mean, we're human.
Right.
Things can, because you could become used to it. So we can get to a place of where we could be like, well, dang, what did happen?
Right.
Because I'm used to that. This is
Exactly.
kind of becoming pattern. But you have to be careful, because now you got to ask yourself, did they have to? Is that
Mm.
something that they stated that they
Mm.
were
Right.
going to do for me every Monday? Or
Right.
is this just something they begin to be in the habit of becoming the habit of doing for me every Monday? So I feel like that's up to that person to identify. And if this is something that have not been stated and yet they are doing it, stay in a place of gratefulness,
Yeah.
gratitude. So if
Mm-hmm.
it do stop, you're not sitting there like with your whole
Feeling like
face
you got
turned up.
played.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because how did they play you? No, you played yourself when you, no, for real, no, because I got exactly what
Yeah.
you were saying. Is a very good question because this do happen. So
Yeah.
really, you played yourself when you put that in your own mind that this is what they are going to do instead of just enjoying them doing it.
So you think
And
that's
when they go
no? Go
ahead,
ahead. Go ahead.
no, it's just when they stop,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't find yourself messed up
Right.
about something that, because if you try to go to them right and be like, well, I'm mad because you stopped bringing me that cookie every Monday.
Right.
First of all, you're embarrassing yourself because what was it stated
Right.
that they were going to do this?
Yeah. That I
I don't
had
even
to do
care by
this.
action that they did.
Yeah.
Still, it was never agreed upon.
Mm.
It was never stated that with verbal, like, I'm gonna do this
It's
for
a
you every Monday
contract.
at this
Yeah.
time, and we're gonna
Yeah.
do this. Then
Right.
that's when the expectation turns
Right.
on. Bow, because guess what?
It's
This is what we
agreed
agreed
on.
to.
Right.
But
Yeah.
until that, you stay in a place of gratefulness
Right.
and humbleness and thankfulness. That
Yeah.
if tomorrow they stop doing it, guess what? You can't be upset,
Right.
and neither you will play yourself because they never said that they were going to do this. So I get what you're saying
And then that
because
would
there
be
is
a
a boundary. It's a
right.
boundary.
And that would be an illegitimate expectation on your
Yes,
behalf
that will,
for
because we never.
expectancy.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't. And you just assumed it in your mind just because it had been habit and they have been doing. And guess what? That even happens in relationships.
Yeah.
So I feel like even in that situation, because if and this is where it comes to the opening of the mind. Because if I had a man, right, and
Mm-hmm.
he did that for me, I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, that feels good. He does that for me every Monday, he does that for me every Tuesday,
Right.
and just one day or a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, and it turns off. Don't get me wrong, like I said, by nature,
Yeah.
But
I am,
how y'all
because I'm used to it. I am
Right.
going to be like, well, dang, what happened? He don't do that no more.
Yeah.
But yet, hold up, I cannot get mad
Yeah.
because he never stated that he did it. So now that he would do this for me this amount of time. So now my mind would be, well, maybe he ain't got the money, or
Yeah.
can I
maybe,
can
or something has changed to where, so you know what, I thank him and I'm grateful
Yeah.
for that. And I'm going to leave that at that. And maybe he may pick it back up and he might do it again.
Right.
And even if I do bring it to him, I'm going to be very careful how I bring
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to bring it like, what, I mean, tap. What
Right.
happened? What happened to you taking me out every Monday? Why are you not taking me out every Monday like you were
Right.
doing?
can,
Because
can I
hold
say
up,
something?
you leave. Wait a minute, Mortez. You leave the door open for him to be like, hold up, but I never said that's what I was gonna
You
do.
saying?
I was just doing that for you. Did it? And if you do bring it to him and you want to ask, and be like, well, you know what? Well, baby, I really enjoyed us going out on Mondays or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, what happened? Why is it
Right.
that we stopped doing that? You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
maybe I could pick it up and start doing it and follow the lead. Like, it's so many things that could be done. But what I'm saying is, I can't just come to that man flipping off at the mouth. Like, you stated in the clause that you were going to do this for me. I don't care if you did it for me for a year straight. You still didn't state that that's what you were going to do for the rest of my life. So
Yeah,
I can't.
I get
Gotta
what
be
you
careful.
saying. I get what you're saying. Like like you say, ill will. Like they be having like in relationship, people be
It's
having
illegitimate.
illegitimate things. Like they be having gimmicks and things like that. So Like when a woman expect a certain thing, or she when you start, like you said, doing things, certain things for her, and you start doing it, competing, she start expecting it, and then once you stop, things, all stuff start happening, and she start getting angry, fed up. Then she be like, you did. Then it start bringing conflict inside of the
Well,
relationship.
but that's the problem though. That's the problem because at the end of the day, I feel the only time you can have a legitimate expectation is something that have been declared, stated, and agreed upon, or if someone have said that, you know what, now I ain't no thief. I don't be stealing. I hate a thief. People that be stealing, they do, and you displaying this strong urge, and you stated against a thief,
Yeah.
and you not being a thief. I'm expecting you not to be stealing nobody's stuff.
Right.
So if I catch you stealing,
Right.
it's a
It's yeah.
problem
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you
That you
stated.
don't
So
do
I'm
that.
expecting you to follow through on
Right.
what you stated. You're not
Yeah.
thief. So
Right.
why are you thieving now? So now I got ground. So I feel like a legitimate it is.
Right.
Because guess what? That's how, and then it came to me. That goes with like a core dealer place, right?
Right.
Expectations can only come by that which have been spoken and agreed upon or stated. Because I wouldn't be looking for
Mhm.
you to do that if you didn't state it. That's
Exactly.
legitimate expectation.
Exactly.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
illegitimate expectations is I don't care what your last man did or your last woman did or how they did it or your last friend
Right.
did it, and you come to feel like that is the way or that's how a person should be treated, or that's how it should be done. You can't come into the next friendship, you can't come into the next relationship, you can't come into the next nothing
Right.
expecting that person ought to treat you like that or that person ought to do
I'm
you
a,
like that because of
ca-
something else. That's an illegitimate expectation
Right.
because
yeah.
that person may not grow up like that, may not have
Exactly.
those same
Right.
values,
Yeah.
may not move like that. So for you to push that burden on them
Yeah.
of you
That's being
expecting
legitimate.
them to do something
Yeah.
based off the last situation that you ain't spoke to them about
Right.
or that y'all ain't agreed or that ain't came out their mouth, that's an illegitimate expectation.
Yeah. Like, 'cause it makes sense. It makes sense very what you said, because we as us, like, people in relationship that are getting relationships, we tend to be like, oh, we want you to be like this, and like my last, and we start expecting, oh, John, I'm just gonna use a scenario. Johnny was taking care of me. I ain't had to ask for nothing. I ain't this, and whoop woo. I'm expecting you to do that the same thing. You cannot, like, I get what you're saying. You cannot expect
Because me and
anything
Johnny
if
values ain't the same.
right.
Me and Johnny don't move the same. So you to go press that burden on someone, then yeah, you should
First
have
of all,
to.
now you're going into a mindset of being ungrateful and being
Come here.
complacent, and and also being complacent all at the same time, because we we base our relationship off of what we see, like on TV.
TV,
We
that
on
illegitimate
Instagram
expectations come from that.
reels, we seeing relationship couples, like they on trips, this, so they expect, so in their head they like, they picturing in their head that they relationship go off of that, but let it flow how it's going to flow. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you're not letting things flow right, things become a hassle, and it becomes a mess, and it becomes just a crazy
Yes,
type of
it does.
situation.
And that's where
And
the broken communication come from. And then people
Exactly.
be straight getting
man,
mad at people for stuff that they don't even. And then once you find out, you be like, man or woman, what is your problem?
Right.
Cause you ain't doing this. And they be looking, cause they be sincerely lost.
yeah,
Cause they like, how was I supposed to know? But you're expecting that based off of whatever.
yeah,
Right.
We
what
don't
you,
know what the expectation comes, but you ain't talked to them
Right.
about it.
yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
ain't saying nothing to them about it. They ain't agreed. They ain't never said that was their values or that's what they. So no.
so they
Now you're
didn't
putting
expect it.
pressure.
First of all,
Then
they
you're
didn't even
putting
expect
pressure
it.
on them, and you're treating them wrong,
Mhm.
and they don't even know why. That's
Exactly.
unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of having the communication and break
Yeah.
and sit down and
Having an
let's get to the
agreement.
root of the problem. So I can get a clearer understanding of what your point of view and my point of view and things like that. And also, I want to bring another thing of like that's where things fail at and fail. Hold on, be quiet, be quiet. But that's where things fail at in relationship and things like that. They don't want to be grateful. They don't want to be humble. Like you said, even when my money get low, even when the money get tight or I lose something, you just don't go into a reacting moment expecting me to keep doing it after I done already told you like I'm going through a situation and you clearly see that I'm going through a situation.
Oh, but baby, yeah,
You know,
that.
that's an
You know
ill
what?
will
That's an
expectation.
illegitimate. You keep
That
saying ill
ill,
will. That's an illegitimate, and
yeah,
that's why I say even. And you know what? That's to get into the grounds of even that. You know, how do people handle that when, you might have a man or a woman that's actually said they would do this, and they have held up to that, but life happens, circumstances
Right.
change, and
right,
they not able to do that, and they have stated it to you.
right,
Like,
Mm.
you know
Right.
what, baby, hold on, wait a minute, my money a little fun. I've had some unexpected thing. I'm talking about this because expectations can only come by what has been
agreement,
verbalized,
yeah,
you know, and and they're not able to do that. You have people straight in relationships that be, I don't care what you're going through, I still expect you to do that.
Indeed.
yeah,
You know
even
what I'm
Indeed.
under
saying?
pressure, and
And
it's like and then that don't even then they even step into a realm of unconsideration. You understand what I'm
yes,
saying? When you be in unconsideration, like
inconsiderate.
incorrect, my bad, inconsideration, like you cannot do that to a
What
person
is
because a person really, mine is really like I'm gonna use a scenario. I'm just gonna break it down, be honest,
Hey, how
and
you
things
doing?
like that. I was going through a situation or whatever, however, but she seen me doing things like when I had money and things like that, and it was to a point where she was like expecting it. I want a man like this that hold me down and whoop the whoop. But instead of being grateful that I'm kicking in a certain point and things like that, so I would say like that's they I don't know how to put it, but
Oh no, that's a whole mindset, and that's
yeah,
somebody like for real, seriously. And in situations like that, to me, that reveals people. It reveals people heart, and it reveals people's motives. Because at that point, to me, for real, that's selfishness. Like like I said, things does change. Things
right.
happen in life, and if you have a man that bring you flowers or a woman that does something and they said they would, and they've actually been holding up to that,
right,
but life happens, things can happen, and things do change, and then you got that person that's still sitting there like, I don't care about what you got going on, you still supposed to been doing that. To me, now they get into showing a person's character,
Right.
because that's selfishness.
Mm.
That's inconsiderate. You know what I'm saying? And now you're revealing the essence and the part of you that might make me want to just say, so long, bye 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 bye. So
So,
long, bye bye bye
and then
bye.
Servienta too. What I want to add to that is, I feel like when it comes to like expectations, I feel like expectations and boundaries, even when it comes to the talking stage, like when you meet a man or when a man meets a woman, I feel like when they start talking like what they call dating or flirting with each other, I feel like
Mm.
boundaries and expectations should be set there too, because you have like people like talking to each other who may just be talking, right? Who may not be in a committed relationship just yet, but one participant may be expecting like to be treated as if they was in a relationship, but it was never spoken
Yeah, well,
and stuff like that. It
that's
was
your
never.
problem. And see, that's what people got to understand too. Stop expecting something based off your thoughts.
Mm,
That's illegitimate. I don't care where you been, who you was with, and how that happened.
yeah,
That everybody not
yeah,
like that. Until you have that spoken, until
agreed.
that's been understood and spoken amongst two people, You
Mm-hmm.
cannot be sitting up there expecting, period. I don't care what, you know what I'm saying? And you know what, that to me kind of goes back to, I say when I meet people, and whether it's a new friend, a man, whatever, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
When I meet you with a clear slate.
Right.
I don't bring none of what my old friend or my old man or the old business, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
don't bring none of that over into my new situation.
Right.
It's a clean slate. You know, so people make the mistake of doing that, and people need to stop doing that. And that's what people, to me, will clear up that gray area of where they say the expectations are wrong in a relationship. Yeah, it is wrong when there's no grounds for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is wrong when I never said that. And that's why, hey, that's why you got people, for real, just like this scenario, because I've seen it. It's not funny, but I've seen it, like where somebody in their whole mind got a whole situation of what they think they'll feel and all of this, and then you go to this man or this woman, and like you said, it ain't been stated, it ain't been agreed upon,
Mm-hmm.
that none of that was going to happen.
Right.
And but this is how you move, this is what you see. And then I've
Mm-hmm.
seen people make a mess of themselves, a real mess of themselves, and go to people with such audacity and be
Mm-hmm.
like, but you, this and this. And then when them people get the grounds and start saying, but I never said that,
Right.
you can't do nothing but respect it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or they get to saying things like, but that's how you think, or that's what you feel, or
Mm-hmm.
that's what you wanted to
Right.
happen. It's like there should be the moments where you might need to shut up
Mm.
and think about what they saying,
No, for
as
real.
much as it may hurt. Because really, that's like almost like a delusional state.
Mm.
No, for real, it really is. You know, it's just like you messing with, right? Okay, say something, right? Like you were saying, you messing with a
Mm-hmm.
girl, right? And y'all just
Right.
conversating, right? Just talking, casual conversation,
Mm.
right? Y'all ain't really got off into no being together. It ain't
Yeah.
really even got heavy or deep, right? Or none of that. It's fresh. But in your whole mind, you called a girl, right? Because she didn't give you your her number
Right.
or whatever the case may be. And you called a girl, and she don't answer the phone, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you start tripping like, why she ain't answering the phone? You know, when I call, she's about, people do this. To me, that's delusional. And that's something to be careful of, because who said that they said that every time you called the phone that they felt, or even was even getting around to that place of even telling you that it was necessary for them to answer the phone for you. But you got people to do that. And then it bring a case to me too. I've had a situation with a man that, no, real talk, and then, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, because it really is delusional, and this is where confusion come in. And it was something that I didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when I spoke to the person, they told me it's like I should have known that that's what I was supposed to do. And I'm like, how?
Right.
When you never stated that it was like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it
Right.
caused a whole issue. And that person basically was trying to tell me, like, you should have known that you was supposed to do that already. But I'm like, and we were talking,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, we never stated that though. We
Right.
never agreed upon that was the case. So me, because I'm big on respect.
Right.
You hear me? And I'm big on, I ain't finna make no fool of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just supposed to just pop up, show up, or do any of that. But you telling me that I should have known this though. But no, I'm not gonna do that, because we never stated that it was like that.
Exactly.
We never agreed upon that. So now, you're getting upset at me about something that you feel I should have known.
Right.
But
Well,
yet you
illegitimate.
never stated that, and we've never talked on that for me to change my perception and mine and
Mm-hmm.
know, like, boom, okay, I know this what we own, this what I
Exactly.
supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's how people get in delusional states too. And
That makes
now you
sense.
got somebody popping up at your door, coming to your door and be like, boy, girl, why you doing me like that? And they sitting there like, I don't even barely even know you. We just start talking.
Right.
When did I say I was your
Right.
man? You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. For real. What's up with it, Sean the Don? No, for
Hey,
real.
so
For
you got
real.
to be, and that just came to me like I've straight had situations like that, and it was a whole fallout because you're sitting up here telling me like you should have known you were supposed to, and I'm like, but we never. I don't care how well we've been talking, how
Right.
good we've been talking, or none of that until we stated
Right, me, they
that that's
agree. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
verbally. I'm gonna stay where I'm expecting it to be until we. That's just like say I ain't finna walk around just start saying, "Oh, that's you, my man. You, my man. I
Right.
don't care what you say. Oh, that's my man right there." You know, no, this is how that upset stuff
Uh,
start happening. All
for
like for
real.
real.
For real.
When
Yeah.
people start making up things in their head on
Yeah.
something and expecting something, which boils down to expecting something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now you got a whole crazy person on your hand, and you like, and then they get to saying, but why you hurt me like that? You you
Right.
know, and they be sitting up here like, but I never said anything.
Exactly.
But that all started because you
Right. Your
took it upon
perception,
yourself.
your thought, yeah, your mind, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, we got to be careful. We got to be
yeah. And
careful.
communication is key. And
Yeah,
you
boss
should
lady.
ask, and you should ask too. Like if you feel like anytime you feeling, well, yeah, I say communication is key. And if you feel
Yeah.
like, and if you're not sure about something, I feel like you should like ask, not just run off of the plug, thinking that you know it. You feel me? But ask your part or ask who you talking to and be like, so we've been talking since this, and we with the rule, like what's up? Is we
This
this?
is how you clear up
Yeah,
any gray
yeah,
area. Any
exactly.
gray area. So I want to know, are you saying, this is why I have people repeat stuff back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying, like, because if you get to saying something to me and I ain't sure, like you said, good, solid communication. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
ask you back, are you saying to make sure that I'm making
Right.
sure that I hear
Understand
you
and
right?
comprehend it.
So
Right.
my expectation be
Mm.
clear. And I don't run off on the plug and be on some delusional
Right.
stuff or made up stuff. So are you saying whoop, whoop, wop, 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 wop?
Right.
Then if they
Exactly.
be like, yeah, I'm saying, I'll be like, okay. So now I transition in my mind and now I'm expecting that, or I know to stop expecting that,
Exactly.
or I know to,
Mutual
you know,
understanding. Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just a hot topic that I really wanted to hop on because I've heard so many people, contradict themselves even on this topic, say that there shouldn't be expectations. I've heard people say, but I've heard more people than not say that expectations are wrong in a relationship.
What's up with it, Jay Bird team? Yo, I got a question for you, brother. Do you think expectations? Wait, no. What's the title
Do
again?
you think
I'm sorry.
expectations are legitimate in a relationship?
You say it's
Oh,
wrong. Did catch on the
yeah,
next one.
catch y'all, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it don't matter. People come in later on. I just want to hear people because I'm telling you, so many people say that expectations are wrong. And so I be wondering, well, without expectations, what really do you have?
Right. You say you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he said, yep, okay, well, thank you, because I agree to the same thing. I feel expectations are legitimate too. Because without them, what do you have?
Exactly. But
And
confusion.
that's where you have people telling you anything. And they could run you through the way. I ain't say that. Who told you? People play you like you crazy.
Exactly. You say
He said
expectations.
expectations is
Yeah.
everything at period.
Yeah.
Period.
That's
Because
what
I'm
keeps.
expecting that. I'm a friend, man, all that. I'm expecting you to be what you say. Now, don't get me wrong. Things can change. But no, I'm expecting you to follow through
Right.
on what you say. We not doing that. Mm-mm.
Right. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
not doing.
Expectation is everything. No, for
Yes, it
real.
is. Because without it, what do you have?
Right.
Now, what are we doing? You say
But I feel
peace and
like,
blessings to you too as well.
yeah, it's like levels to it though. Like expectation. It's like first is communication, then it's expectations. I don't know. But it's like levels. They just
No,
can't
expectations is first. I'm
mm,
expecting you to be honest even in your communication.
mm,
Now, that's to me an unspoken expectation. It don't need speaking. Because if
mm,
you coming to me, okay, because if you coming to me, right, and you
mm,
saying that, I wanna get to know you, right?
right.
Right. You know, I whether man, friend, whatever. If that I'm expecting you to be honest about your intentions. Now, is it to say that you will or maybe you won't? We'll see. That's up for me to pay attention to, discern, and learn, and know in which direction you are
Right.
moving. But it is some expectations that I don't need you to speak out your mouth. I'm expecting that. Period. Off the flip. Just human to human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm expecting you to treat me like you want to be done. But first, I got to find out, oh, how do you yourself feel about your own self? Or how do you want to be done? So to me, expectations come before communication. I don't need, it's some things we're expecting. And it's not to say that every human's going to do it, it's going to offer it. But you know what? You expect a human being to be decent to another human being. Even though no, that's not always the case, but that's up to us to pay attention and observe each and every person that we encounter. But I got expectations before even the communication.
No, I got
Period.
you. I got you.
And then we can get into the communication. And then that's been solidify and get more defined definition into the expectations that I'm expecting from you
Mm-hmm. Right.
as we get into the conversation of knowing you.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I say be honest. If you a lie, tell me, man. I be lying. I be doing too much. I be playing all the time. So guess what? I'm expecting you to be just that, a liar. So when you
Exactly.
lie, it ain't gonna catch me off guard. When you do too
Mm.
much all the time, it ain't gonna catch me off guard because I was expecting that because you
Right.
told me
You
that.
told
You
me, right.
said that.
Mm, that makes perfect sense. It makes
Period. That's
perfect
why I say
sense.
tell me
Mm.
the truth. You
Mm.
you know you a hoe. You
Mm-hmm.
like sleeping around.
Mm-hmm.
You like, hey, even if it's a man trying to talk to me and you like, look, I like all kind of women. I like chocolate women, Brazil women, light skinned
Mm.
women, vanilla women,
Mm.
short women, tall women, thick women. I just love women. I'm infatuated with women. I mean, every time I see a woman, I mean, it just make me want to kiss her hand. I love women. I'm telling you, they can cook, women that can't cook, women that got pretty feet, women that got crooked feet. I just love, I mean, just be honest.
Mm.
Because I'm
Community.
expecting
Mm.
it. And,
Mm.
and, and, and I respect it.
Mm.
I respect it. So guess what? When you start liking all the women, no matter they shape, color, guess what? They ain't catch me off guard. I'm like, hey, he a stand-up guy. He a stand-up woman. Whatever.
Right.
This is what they said.
Right.
I know
And
one
you
thing
can't
about them. I expect them to be honest because they said that.
and you can't be mad about it neither once
When you
it
see it. Because I
it's
expected it.
and
Yes.
especially if you come to agreement with it, like if you say if they lay it all out on the table, like if a woman tells you like she a cheater or you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and you still be like, I'm gonna still take you or whatever. Or if a woman says she has kids or whatever, you talking about like, okay, I'll date a woman with kids and stuff. When y'all get to dating and stuff, and if an argument come up or something, you can't use that against her. You can't be like, this and that, this and that. When you already knew what you signed up for, you already knew what it was.
Yeah. Period.
There's also an
That's an illegit. Yeah. For
expectation.
real. So I just feel like anything that is not that is left out of the communication process of getting to know each other uh is can be an illegitimate expectation, especially if you're expecting it from someone and you never spoke on that, you never said nothing on that. Then yeah, you can't. Cause that to me, that it just make me think like now you're in a delusional state, and you got so many people that's in that state though.
Yeah,
They be expecting things that ain't nobody said nothing about,
right.
just because of their own feelings and thoughts. And that's something as humans we gotta not do for real. Don't do that. But as far as expectations, baby, I'm letting you know. So don't come talking to me, okay? Cause I got expectations.
Exactly.
Period. Don't come talking to me. I ain't the one. And people say, no, that's wrong. Sad expectations. Wrong for who? You know?
Yeah,
You can go wandering around in the wilderness, not expecting nothing. That's on you. But
right.
I got expectations. I
Yeah,
just
I kind of wish somebody else would come up here that think opposite of that. Cause I would want to ask them if you feel then no then is then it's you shouldn't have
the
expectations.
expectations are not legitimate. If their
Yeah,
expectations are illegitimate, it would be nice to hear.
yeah, I would want to. I would have asked them like what then. That would mean like you coming into a relationship with no expectation, like it's a free for all, like a free,
I'm
like one
telling you,
take we
hey,
no rehearsal.
when you really think on that topic, that's what it boiled down to. And for me, hey, when I thought about it, I'm like, people really need to stop saying that, because how can you be in a relationship without expectations?
Right, at
It's
least one.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Now, I think people should say that illegitimate expectations are not okay. They're
right,
not okay. Many things that have not been spoken on. A person, you want a person to read your mind, or they should have known this. No, that's illegitimate. And you're expecting it. No, that's unfair.
right.
No, that's unfair. But baby, I'm gonna have expectations every day. You hear me? All day with everybody.
No,
Straight up, I got
flat out.
humanly expectations that ain't even gotta be said. It's just I'm expecting you as a human. You
Right,
should.
no, flat
And then
out.
I got expectations that I'm expecting the more I get to know you. You know what I'm saying? If you said this, and even and you know what, even as I watch people, my expectations change. And I find expectations even in watching people. And people might think that that's crazy, but really it's not though, because a person's actions tell you a lot about them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something people don't pay attention to enough. And they all about what people say versus people action. Straight up.
Mm,
Straight up. If you would get over on that old woman like that and do that old woman like that and steal her money and take her stuff,
right,
and guess what? I don't care what you say. After, even if I see that from you and I observe that from you,
right.
you can tell me out your mouth.
I don't want
Oh
to do
no,
that to
I ain't
you.
that kind of guy. You know, I ain't getting over on people. I don't. No, that ain't cool. I'm expecting you to do now. And this, I'm finna weigh
Mm,
out the balance of what you're saying
and
versus
what
what
you
I
do.
saw.
Mm,
And what I saw is gonna win. Because I
right,
saw you do that.
right. Mm.
So now I know that you're lying to me about what's coming out your mouth.
Nah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So I'm not expecting you to not do that.
right.
Like you
Cause
just
I
said.
just saw you then.
Because
Yeah,
I just saw you do that.
right.
So it comes a point where I even let my expectations for people are shaped by their actions.
Hmm.
And straight up. And I'm gonna tell you, like I gotta testify this, because this for real. God told me this one day, right? I was praying about this person, right? And I'm like, God, you see that? Like they won't they won't wop 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 wop. Hey, I love God because he thorough and he a honey. And before I could get the whole prayer out my mouth, God said, but my daughter, I showed you that. He said, so you trespassed yourself when you went against that you already
knew, right?
So I had to look up trespass, right? Because I like to get real gritty into something. I want to embody the whole sentences that God be saying. You heard me? And so when I thought about it and I looked and did all that, I said, God, I had to repent and say, you sure right, so how I'm mad. How I'm mad.
Right.
I believe what they said, even though God said, I showed you and you saw it.
Right.
So you fooled yourself.
Right.
So that's why now I like, even with that, I'm expect like if it come down to expectation through what you saying versus what I see, and that what I see gonna win.
Now that makes sense. Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
I don't care what you said. I'm expecting you to do what I saw. Now you just saying that because it sound good, and for real, you know it ain't right, and it sound good and it sound cliche. But at the end of the day, I'm expecting you to really be what I saw. And what I know. Because what I saw turns into what I know. Because I saw you do that. So I know that's who you are.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Lord, I love you, God. So I'm telling y'all, let us change the lingo. Let us take that away out of our vocabulary. The expectations are wrong. No, expectations are very right. Because without expectations, it's like you just open to anything.
Exactly. And it's like no expectation is illegitimate expectation. It's simultaneously the same. It's simultaneously go hand in hand because you're going to be expected something, even if you say like, oh, this relationship has no expectation. That's a lie because so you mean to tell me like the analogy that I used earlier, like about cheating. So you mean to tell me um like you wouldn't like you don't expect your partner to be loyal or you don't expect them to be faithful to you. Just what I'm saying by natural instinct, what I'm saying, you talking to somebody, you don't have the expectation like, since we're together, they not gonna, go sleep with John down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I feel like it's natural. It's a natural instinct to have expectations. So
it is.
yeah.
That's why I say it's some expectations that are as human to human. You don't
Right.
have to speak it. I'm expecting that.
Right.
Now we can get into the definition of
The
what I should
technical.
be expecting from you.
Right.
As I get to know you, and the more you talk, and the more I build to understand. But it's some things I'm expecting. If you're my husband, I'm expecting you not to be going down the street cheating. I don't like you ain't got to tell me that you're not gonna cheat. Like no. Like if we in the committed, like I'm expecting this. I don't care now unless you tell me
Then
that
I'm a
I'm a
cheater.
man that believe in polygamy. I'm a man that look like I said. I love women. I love them short. I love them tall. I love them big. I love them small. Like, now, if you tell me that, then guess what? For me to expect anything different than what you said, I lie to myself now.
Right.
So even if I say, yeah, you could be my man, I know that Jimmy is my man and he's the man of the women. And he told me, I love him big, I love him small. I love them all. So now if I walk around trying to expect something else, I lie to myself. And that's when you get into the delusional state. And a lot of people do get there. And they be like, come on now, but they told you, like, you ain't see that was said, that was spoken, but still, it's just like, oh no, I would have thought they would have did me like that. And it's like, now you're lying to yourself.
Exactly, illegitimate expectation.
Yeah, illegitimate, right? Cause he told you that. He told you that. So I don't know. It's something we need to take out of our vocabulary. Well, I ain't gonna say take out, but it's a theory that we need to stop pushing because it sound good of saying that people shouldn't have expectations in a relationship. To watch right downstairs. So yeah, we should stop doing that, and we
Yeah,
should stop teaching that. Because then, for real, without expectation, it just keep coming to my head too. You stand for nothing, you fall for anything.
exactly.
See,
Right.
because standing for nothing means you have no expectation.
Right.
You're
Mm,
open to everything.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
No
so guess
boundaries.
what? You'll fall to
Right.
anything. Cause it's like no boundaries. Everything goes. It's
Yeah.
what protects you, what puts around you. That's why I say I got expectations from humans, and they ain't
It's
never
like an
got to
ocean
open their mouth.
with
Ice
no
with no
border.
wall.
Yeah, with no wall.
It's
Yeah.
just all over the place.
Yeah, a flood of chaos.
Period. And that's what it's gonna turn into. And then guess
Exactly.
what? Soon as you say, here, Martez,
Mm-hmm.
they use that one. Soon as you say anything about an expectation of what you thought, that's when, and people play people like that all the time. For real, and be straight, making people want to snap and all kind of stuff. But like I said, you got to sit back and be real with
Right.
yourself.
Right.
For the lie.
Exactly. No, for real.
Where's the lie at? You cannot get mad
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, I don't care how much you hurt your feelings. If you've expected something that ain't been spoke on, and they bust out and tell you, but I never said that. Like, that's nothing we never discussed. You never asked me that. You just in your head assume. That's when
Exactly.
assumptions and assuming come because it was never spoken on. As mad as you are, and as upset as it make you feel, guess what? You gotta go sit down, absorb that,
Mm-hmm.
learn from it, and do better the next time.
Yeah. No, for real. And
Because it's
then
the
it,
truth.
yeah. And
I
then it
don't care
goes.
how much it hurt you, and I don't even care if you figured out that they was playing on your top. Yeah, they was. They played on your top. Yeah, they did. They did that. They got that off. But guess what? Still sit down, absorb that, calculate that cost, admit to that, and then do better. Because like I said, God told me when I was trying to pray and was all like, oh, Lord, you see this? And God was like, but you trespass what you knew. I don't care what they said. It sound good. But what they had already showed you, let's start with you. You knew better.
Right.
You
Right.
seen it for yourself.
Right.
So I don't care what they said. You played yourself first. And I had to shut up and sit down on that and take that. You would be like, wow. Ugh. Realign my jaw, put it back in place.
Nah, but
And
for
I had to
real.
absorb that and was like, you know what? Won't do that no more. We're going to always expect off of what they did versus what they said. So, but like it comes a place where even with expectations and you weighing expectations in the balance, and it comes to a person, they said something, but you've also seen something from them. Now you got to weigh in the balance. Which one will you expect? And for me, I'm expecting what I saw, what they
Right.
did, what they showed, you know. Then you got that expectation of getting to know
Mm.
you. I'm trying to, so only thing I have to go off of is what you're telling me in the process of me getting to know you outside of me observing who you are. So if you tell me the first time I meet you in the first conversation or the second one that I don't do this, I do this,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm expecting. Why would I be expecting?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you said.
Exactly. Now that makes sense. That
So
makes
I'm
perfect sense.
expecting that. And
Exactly.
now, when you get to moving and you don't hold up to what you said, now you can't get mad because I'm be like, well, you lied because you said
Exactly.
you gonna wop, 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 wop.
Exactly.
But you're doing something totally contrary. So I'm gonna let you know I saw that and that wasn't cool, but that also let me know something else. You're a liar. You run game. You're deceiving. Oh, it's a lot that can come behind it, but I got the right to say something because this is what you told me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. There's a difference. Yeah.
And you ain't held up to this.
Now that's real. I love the explanation when you get deep into it and you bring understanding in, because that helps a lot. And I feel like that's what when people do say that, that's what they lacking. They lacking understanding of what they're saying. Because like you say, it just sounds good. Like it sounds good. And then that made me think too. Last slide, well not the last slide, but when we was talking about love, and one of the person that came up said that when you had eggs, do love have wisdom? And one of the person,
Yeah, I think that was my dude. I've been a guy.
yeah, he was saying that love has no
And he just was
boundaries and
like,
stuff.
love basically is all over the place.
Yeah,
Like, and I do get what he's saying. It wasn't to take away what he was saying about the fact that, love do make you do crazy things.
yeah,
Yes, he do. But let's put a boundary on it. It make you do crazy things when you don't got no wisdom on it. Yeah, when I ain't had no wisdom with love, I ended up in a whole lot of messed up situations. Period. Every time. But when I gain wisdom with love, and that's why I'm at the stage of my life, love got wisdom. I don't care, about no emotion.
what's up,
Hello,
Sunshine?
sunshine. What's up with it? Love don't have, when you put your emotions in it, yeah, love can be all over the place. Because it's
Exactly,
all based off of how you feel.
exactly.
But love do have wisdom. I'm
You do.
sorry. It's that love that don't have no wisdom, and that's why people is locked, bound, chained to the floor in relationships that they can't get out of. Because the moment you wise up with love and define love and give love a definition, yeah, it do. And a lot of people say, even with believers, love, love is patient, love is kind, and it is. Love don't keep no record of fault, and it don't. Let's keep going. Yeah. Love does all this thing. Okay, but is love gonna sit around and keep letting you punch on it? And it don't.
No, ma'am. No, it
No, it
don't.
don't.
Not at all.
No, it
Not
don't.
at
See,
all.
this is where you start putting love and defining it. But
Exactly.
yes, love covers a multitude of fault.
Yes, it does.
Yes, love don't keep no record of wrong. So that mean that no, somebody that loves somebody ain't finna keep standing up and just constantly bringing up to them, yeah, you did wrong, this. No, love ain't gonna do that, no. So you right. So just because love don't do that, mean that love don't have wisdom. So love don't tell you, that ain't love. So love don't tell you, love wouldn't talk to you like that. So love don't tell you, love wouldn't treat you like that.
Hmm.
So love don't tell you, love wouldn't disrespect you like that.
Hmm.
No, love, it talk. It
It
look
do.
like something.
Yes, it does. Hmm.
It ain't just no emotional roller coaster.
Hmm. Hmm.
Period. And that's what we get locked and bound in.
Right.
And guess what? You ain't even got no expectation
Yeah,
in love.
exactly. And that's how, and that's
And that's how
exactly
you
why.
just be tossed to and
And you
fro.
go through
All
the
over the place. You
emotional roller coaster.
receiving every form of love.
Yeah,
Or what look like love. Or what
exactly.
may have your emotions feeling like it feel like love. No, baby, my love look like something on today. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Baby, no, my love look like something. No, you ain't finna play with me like that. You ain't finna play on my top like that. No, I'm paying attention. Yeah, I am. I'm paying attention how you treat me, how you do all that. I'm defining love. And I expect love to look, well, my love got expectations.
Yeah, you
Without
do.
you defining what I should
Yeah.
expect. I come with already a love that is telling me what I should expect.
Hmm.
Meaning you ain't finna disrespect
Hmm.
me. Meaning you ain't finna settle
Expectation.
for me. Meaning you ain't finna lie to me.
Right.
Meaning you ain't finna string me on.
Right.
Right. Right. Right. Right. Hey, and God do chastise those he love. And guess what? Love will chastise you too. And it
Yes,
gives
it
some
will.
wisdom. Love will
Yeah.
tell you that ain't me.
Hmm.
I don't care what they did. And then because you got people that sit up after they done smack somebody all over across the head, call them all out their name, call everything under the sun, and then to be sitting on the line talking about I love you. I did that because I love you. You know when I get upset, you know. No, what? No. You got me messed up.
All the way. Yeah.
Period. And I'm standing on business, and I don't need you to tell me what my love, what I should expect out of love, baby. Because love, I'm talking about real good sound love.
Exactly.
Then already told me what
What to
love look like,
expect.
and it don't look
Yeah.
like that. And you ain't finna manipulate me like that. I
Exactly.
don't need you to tell me what you gonna do when it comes to loving me.
And I
Out the
like you
gate,
say,
because I know how I want to be loved, and I know what love look like. And love ain't finna sit up here and mistreat you. And love ain't finna sit up here and misbeat you. And love ain't finna sit up here and manipulate you.
right.
And a lot of people, I'm talking about even these church folks, that's how they get they walk the stump and trample all over, because the church sit up and tell them, love, love, love. Yeah. Yeah. Because guess what? I can love you, and I don't have to hate you. I don't.
And I
But
like how
guess
you
what?
keep, and
I can keep my distance from you
yeah,
and still love you.
yeah,
I don't have to love you and be bothered with you. I don't have to love you and let you treat me like that. Are you crazy?
yeah,
No.
yeah. And I like how you brought up the word manipulation too,
Yes.
because that comes. I feel like manipulation comes with illegitimate expectations, because, like, if you're not voicing something, like you could turn it into manipulation in a sense. Like,
Yeah. People do.
yeah,
And that's because guess what? Love ain't got no expectation.
yeah,
They love ain't got no expectation. Out the
right,
gate. Baby, you don't need nobody to give your love an expectation.
yeah,
No, when you really define love and what love look like for real, love will give you expectations
yes,
on what you
yeah,
looking for.
yeah, do.
Because baby,
True.
I'm in a place in my life, in real talk, that I had to for real do some soul searching and understand. Look, I can love you, I can all it, but I don't have to put up. I don't have to deal with. I don't care who you are. Love that told me that love don't look like this. This
Exactly.
dysfunction. Straight
Exactly.
up. This is chaos. This is manipulated love.
Right.
This is love that is in turmoil and shackles, chains, battered and abused type love. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
Exactly. Exactly. Nobody.
Yeah, please, for real.
Yeah.
We gotta do better. So yeah, they go back to that too. So a lot of people love don't even have that expectation, and that's why a lot of people be in situations. You know what I'm saying? Because of brokenness, hurt, pain, all that. Like, and I ain't talking about nobody because I done been there. That's why I could tell you, no, love look like some. It got us some expectation, baby. It tell you it's matter of fact, because love is an entity too. Yeah. Yeah. So it has to be defined. It has to have its own silhouette outlook.
Right.
And when I sit down and talk to love, love's like, girl, no, I don't look like none of that. That's that dysfunctional stuff. That's that broken love. That's that traumatic love. Like, that's that love that's been defined through these kind of things. People brokenness, people trauma, people dysfunction, manipulation. This how they have summoned up love. Look at it. Love like, I don't look nothing like that.
Right. That's your legitimate
And
expectation.
that's illegitimate
Yeah.
experience. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Love like, no, I look like this. Like, I look like true.
Right.
Yeah, I am patient. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Love look like an expectation of change. Oh, that's just
Right.
like somebody tell you, yeah, I love you, but you stay doing the same thing. Do you really? No. I
Right.
think you love yourself, and you just telling me that you love me because love sound good, and it just tickle in my ear like, ooh, this. No,
Right.
baby, we
Right.
done with that. Now I'm expecting you to follow through. Ah, Jesus, I don't know, Tay. I'm just saying. Expectations is everything, because that's just like you going to a job,
Mm-hmm.
and and they're like, and I'm gonna let this go after this, if you have anything else to say, but Like, for real, we gotta stop just saying things because it sounds good. Or or God put it like this. Thank you, Lord. Stop trying to cut stuff off when it ain't suiting for you or fitting for you. Because we got expectations every day.
Exactly.
You go to that job, why are you expecting them people to pay you? Why are you expecting them people to do certain things and uphold? Why are you expecting that? I wonder why. But then you get in a relationship and talking about it shouldn't be no expectation.
Right.
That ain't adding up. That sound like somebody that want to be on foolishness.
Right.
That sound like somebody that want to be manipulative and dysfunction and want to turn it to. I ain't got time for that. You expect when you put your money in that soda machine for a soda to come out. Why? Why are you expecting that? That soda machine never said that.
Right, exactly.
But yet when you put your money in, you expecting it.
Exactly.
So they let you know expectation could come with unspoken things. That's why I said some things you expect without even being said.
But by your actions,
Come on. Why are you expecting that? Why when you go and put your key in that car and turn that ignition over, why are you expecting that car to start?
And then it's like expectation is tied in with faith. Because when you just say things like you go to work, you expecting it, that's faith. You know, the evidence of things hoped for but not seen. It's like, you know, illegitimate. It's like you hoping for things that you can't see that was never spoken
But
of.
then the devil want to play with us. And now when it comes to love and your partner and the person you should be, expectations shouldn't matter. What?
Right.
Baby, this is one of the biggest decisions I ever make in my life is the partner that I'm with. And you mean to tell me that I can't have no expectations? You're the devil. This period. I got him, baby. I got him. Now, you might not meet him, and that's all right. And I've learned to be all right with people not being able to come to the level of what I'm expecting. I had to learn it. Move around. Let me move around. And it don't mean no bad blood and none of that. It just means that we're not there.
Right.
And
you're
that's
not
what
compatible
it
because you can't meet my expectations.
But you finna tell me I could expect all this and everything else. When you go up in that store, you pay for that coffee. That make me want a hot chocolate or something. You go up there and press that thing. Guess what? You're expecting the coffee to come out the machine. And when you don't, you start raising a ruckus. Hold up, ain't no coffee coming out this machine. Why didn't you just don't go get your money back either? Why you just didn't turn around, walk out, and leave out the store? Okay, right. Because you was expecting to get something for that money that you paid. You expecting that coffee to spit out that coffee machine to spit out that coffee.
Right.
But then it come to your heart, your life, one of the biggest decisions you ever make in your life. And then people talk about relationships. It shouldn't be no expectations. Please. No, you should have not expected that coffee to come out that machine first before you expected not have no expectations.
In the relationships, no, for real, that's foolishness,
Don't play with me. I don't got time for the foolishness. So on today, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hold on. Before
run across this video at a later time.
Before we wrap it up, I want to ask Son of John because he's still watching. Son of John, based off what you have heard so far, do you think expectations are legitimate in relationships?
Man,
I believe it's very important. It's very because it's a lie to say otherwise.
He said yes. It is a lie. I've had straight stumped down. I ain't gonna even say arguments because I don't argue. I present my facts and keep it moving because anything that I've said on here, I dare anybody to come and say it's not a fact.
It's good to expect worse and good from your partner.
I don't know, Son John. You gotta maybe define it, or you saying it like your partner got bad parts just as well as good parts?
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Yeah, because
Like if yo,
uh I'm telling you, like, man, I just want us to change this scenario, and I challenge anybody and double dare anybody to come on here and say that what I said has been wrong, because it's not. I
exactly.
said and thought on this after I've had conversations with people, and I'm like, how crazy is that? For you to sit up here and say in relationships people shouldn't have expectations. Now, what expectations people shouldn't have is ones that are not spoken
Mm-hmm.
or based off of, like Martez said, a TV relationship or
Mm-hmm.
somebody else relationship, and you just feel like automatically that now that's wrong.
Right.
No, 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 no. But as far as expectations in a relationship, baby, I'm expecting you to do everything you said you was gonna do.
Right.
You said you was a stand-up guy, and you like to take care of your family, and you like to do. I'm expecting to see those qualities come out
Right.
right now.
Exactly.
Period. Because if they don't, you false and fortified. No, is it 45? You ain't bona fide.
Right.
Right. Period.
Hello,
What's up with this, son,
how you
John?
guys doing?
Doing good. Glad
That's
to
great.
you on the line.
That's great. How you doing, Miss Tisha's mom?
Miss Tayshawn, that is so cute.
Told
I
you
ain't gonna
you don't
say
know your name.
so what? Leave him alone.
So,
No, he
can you
always
repeat?
be
Can
like,
you said
it's
expectation is good to expect stuff or is not good to expect stuff?
huh?
You were saying like your part. You were saying that it's good to expect stuff or like it's not good to expect stuff from your partner.
No, I'm okay. From my point, I'm saying like is where the topic is, or expectations
Legitimate
legitimate in a relationship.
relationships.
And for me, yes, expectations are legitimate in a relationship. Now, you do have I feel what I call illegitimate expectations, meaning that, say for instance, me and you, son of John, we're in a relationship, right? And I'm expecting you to do something based off what my last relationship did that was, or what we did. That's an illegitimate expectation. We never spoke of that. We never said that this is what we were going to do in this relationship, or that's how we was going to maneuver. So that's an illegitimate expectation. And for me to get upset with you because you're not doing something maybe I did in my last relationship, or me expecting something for you to do something that another partner did in another relationship, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. And that's putting pressure on you. And for me to get upset to you and come to you and be like, why aren't you doing this, and then third? And you're going to be looking like, what? Like, why should I be doing that? Like, that ain't what we know. And then I get to tell you, well, my last man, they did this. So why? And it's just like, no, that's confusion. Already right there. Just throwing off, period, right there. Because I'm expecting something from you that are based off another relationship. Now, I feel like expectations automatically come. Like, say, for instance, because I know you have, right? You've talked to young ladies before, right, son of John? So, in
Yes.
the midst of getting to know them young ladies, it's things they tell you about themselves, right? They be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I hate lying. I don't like lying. You know what I'm saying? I hate when somebody lie to me. You know what I'm saying? I like spending quality time with my guy. That's very important. These values, and they running all this stuff down to you, right? So let me ask you, are you going to be expecting them to do that, son of John, and be that?
Uh, yes,
Why are you going to be expecting it?
because is what they want,
It's what they said,
right?
right?
And is what
So
they're
if
expecting.
yeah, so if she is a liar and she lied to everybody, she like hanging with the liars, she never spend no time with you, you're going to be upset. Why? Because you was expecting her to be and fulfill that she said she would be and do. So right there, I feel that expectations are automatically created as we get to know people. You know, there are some that's created as we get to know people. Because if someone's saying this is what they is, or you talking to a girl, or people meet a girl and they got, you know, kids, or, you know, I take care of my kids. You know, I do not play about my kids. I show up to them, you know, then, and then you get to know them. They don't take care of their kids. They don't hardly spend no time with their
Right.
kids. You're gonna be looking like you're a bona fide liar.
Right. And you're
Why is
different,
you a
whole different
liar?
person. Right. I
Right,
understand what you're saying. So it's like
right.
it's like also like boundaries, right? Like when you say like a
Yes,
boundaries for yourself, it's like
yes,
when let's just say like someone like your partner is like when you first meet them, you don't really set too much boundaries until like you know what I'm saying you get to like really know them, and that's
yes.
when the boundaries come in. Yeah, I understand
Yep.
what
That's
you're saying,
when the expectations come in because you're saying this, you're saying this, and
and
like
then
you
you see
said, boundaries. It
something
it
different,
start creating the boundaries
right?
because it's like, okay, well, I know with them, you know, they don't like this or that, so it starts creating it. Yeah,
Right. And then sometimes you kind of like also like take out some boundaries if you see like doesn't fit with them. You know, take
yeah,
some of that boundaries off of like, you know what I'm saying, your like what makes you comfortable sometimes.
yeah,
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 yeah, I
yeah.
understand what
You
you're
know, and
saying.
all of that is created as we get to know people. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? As we get to know, so. You know, I just want people to change the scenario because I heard so many people, and I'm talking about I've heard older people say this, and it shocks me. It blows my mind, and they be like, "How dare can you go around teaching it to our younger people, or even believing that say that expectations are wrong in a relationship?" And I'm like, how? Like, first, I had to sit back and meditate on that. I'm like, first of all, that's a lie from the pits of hell all by itself. Because as you get to know people, you're going to expect stuff out of them because this is who they say they are. So I think that we should change it to illegitimate expectations or not okay in a relationship. Meaning that you're expecting someone to act or be or do based off of
What they
another
say.
experience or someone else. And it's like, no, that's not okay.
Right.
Because now I've seen people be straight mad at somebody and they don't know. And they like, what is your problem? Like, why are you mad at me? And then come to find out they mad because they didn't do something that they was not even aware that was something that felt needed to be done or even knew that the person wanted to be done and it's just like no, that's not cool. And that's when it's like I'm not a mind reader.
So
Right.
is it like a lack of communication too?
Yes, illegitimate expectations do boil down to a lack of communication.
Hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
because you're expecting something that hasn't ever been communicated, because the only way expectation can come in is if it's been said, stated, done. Like, yeah.
You ain't like
And
a
we got
vow, covenant,
mm-hmm.
commitment, yeah. All
So
of
if
that.
you said I'll be with you, the rich or the poor, and faithful and all this, I don't care how hard our relationship get. Why you cheating? You you're breaking expectations. Like no,
Exactly.
no, like
The
you said you would do. Like no, for real. And it's just like if funds run low or we get in hardship or a hard place, and now the person is talking about I'm finna leave you because we ain't got no money. I thought you said for rich or poor. Like I'm expecting you to do that.
Sabienta, I got a question, and I think this question, I don't think it's like too far from the topic. I think it can like go hand in hand with the topic. But like, so like, do you think a man and a woman they could like just be friends without like catching feelings for each other?
oh,
Like, do you think
hell
like
no.
Oh no, you know what? It can. You know what? That's a very sticky
Uh,
subject,
I would say not really.
and yeah, yeah,
I would say
yeah. Like
it's not really like a sticky question because
no,
it's just
it
it's
is a
really
sticky
simple.
question because you have some people. that can be friends, a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's a rarity, because in most cases, men and women that I see that are friends, either something happens between them, or it leads around to something happening between them. But there is actually legitimate, because my brother, my oldest brother, he has a a girl that he's been friend with for years, and real talk, they haven't ever messed around, and it's one of his best friends. Haven't ever messed around. But that's a rare case, because I know a lot of other people that have female and male friends, and somewhat, even if they friends and they might not even be together, they done slept with each other, they done did something. So that's why I say it's a sticky situation. But in most cases, what I see is they end up messing around, or
So do you think?
if they haven't already.
So like, do you think it's like when they are in that like friendship? Do you think it's like a secret expectation in one of their hearts, like for like like I don't know, like do you think like they expect it to like to grow from it, or do you think it just naturally just grow from it? If that makes sense.
Sometimes I believe that mhm, it happens. Like sometimes it could be a secret expectation. Cause I done seen men and women. I can't blame it on neither sex. That lay low, but whole time in their heart they be wanting the person, and have sitting back and watched them be with other people. Whole time in their heart they want to be with them, or design
That's
to be with them. So
deep.
yes, I've seen
What you laughing
it
to, Sean?
happen. That's why I tell men, a man that be like, oh, trying to talk. And I'm like, well, nah,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, I want to be your friend. I be like, so you just want to be my friend, right? No, I straight up ask them, you just want to be my friend. I be like, so
Hey,
that means you ain't trying to talk to me, you
right?
ain't trying to sleep with me, you
Cause
ain't trying to do nothing, you just want to be my friend. And
that
then
cuts
they
off
change their heart.
yeah,
They
that cuts
change their
off the
mind on it.
legitimate expectation.
Yeah, hey, real talk,
Mm.
illegitimate, and they be like, well, I mean, if something kick off, then that's cool. But that ain't what you ain't trying to be my friend. You
Mm.
really trying to, because you can't just slide in and talk to me. You want to use the friend line, and you gonna lay low till you till the line can come in and be like, "Rawr," snatch me up and gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
Illegitimate
That's deep.
expectation. I ain't even a word, but you're deceiving me
Mm.
and saying that you just want to be my friend.
Right. Yeah. As a gateway
It's a
interest.
gateway to get in.
Mm.
That's why I don't play that. When a man say that,
So it's why
I be like, oh, so you just want to be my friend? And then they change their whole time. And then I be like, nah, because that ain't what you're not trying to be my friend. At the end of the day, your expectation is you're trying to get with me.
mm,
So,
What was you gonna say?
but I
Something,
mean,
Sean?
really, to answer this question, I really don't think that men and women should
be friends.
yeah, with where it's talking about like some that's my best friend and all, no.
Yeah, they're
But it
probably friends
happened though. And people,
with
like I said,
benefits.
I have seen some faithful situations where one, and I've known other people be like, oh, that's my best friend. We ain't never did. Okay. We'll see. And only if they tell the truth. Because, I mean, I don't know, it's like something happens with men and women. And then you get comfortable, and then so you mean tell me that man sitting there, and then that man just, like if he was in the locker room with the boys and he just dropped his clothes off, he get in the shower, like, you ain't looking at him like, come on, like, and the man might be working with some, like, come on, and you ain't like, what? Come on, like things can shift. Or you mean tell me your friend right there, she can walk around in her boy shorts and her bra and all that, you ain't looking at none of that, thighs hanging, like.
Maybe they're blind too.
They better be. That's the only way. No, and I know a lot of people,
Like,
baby. This would be a hot
it
topic
took
too.
Tayshawn
I
2
know a
business
lot of
days
people
to
come on.
laugh.
That's not true. That's my friend. We ain't. But if a lot of people be honest, you be like, have you ever had sex with him? Have you ever slept with him? Because I done seen it, even on Facebook, where girls then being friends with dudes, and then they get a girl, and then the girl like, nah, we ain't doing that. Like, nah, you ain't finna be in. And it be like, yeah, Facebook, what y'all think it is? This is my guy. We just friends. This is my best friend. And I've even seen where they be like, don't get it wrong. We slept around one time, but I ain't messing with him since he got girl. Shut up. Like this is why.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. Stop it. No. And it just seemed messy. Like, for me, I ain't being funny. Like, I got a man. What we talking about? That's my man, best friend. Now, I know a lot of men, and they cool. First of all, I don't even call people friends like that. Let's start there, Jesus. But,
Right.
no, for real, because I
No,
don't
you
use
don't.
it
You
that
don't.
often. Real, I don't. I'm not playing. So, first of all, I got a lot of males that I know, and they cool. And when I see, but it ain't nothing but respect, though.
Right.
But I'm talking about we just sitting up and you just calling me, we just talking and just no. Now it's one person in this world, and I tell a person. Like, now my oldest child father, that's my dude. Like, we cool. Like, it took us time to get there, but after we broke up, people who actually have said, like, think we've messed around. And I told them, cheap manufacturer be 24 tomorrow. I'm like, in 24 years, we ain't ever since we were done. But that's my dude. But guess what? It's respect in it. I'm not on the phone with him every day, but he can call my phone, and I could be sitting there in front of my man, and it ain't gonna be nothing but love and respect. And he might be talking to me, asking me or telling me some of what he wants, but it's gonna be nothing but respect. But it's not every day. He
Right.
don't come and get me and take me out to lunches and dinners. We don't go kicking in the party and like that, but we do from time to time have our conversations, 30 minutes conversation. When he come around, he like, what's up with it, baby mama? I'm like, what's up with it, BD? And we cool.
Right. Right.
But still, I'm not going out on dates with him, and we going to the club and kicking it, and no, we not doing none of that. And when I see a man, it's more like, what's up with it? Hello, how you doing? That's my God. It ain't gonna be no foolishness, though.
Yeah, it's a level
It's
of
supposed to
boundaries
be.
right there.
Like, it's gonna be nothing but respect. Cause period, and I'm gonna get off of it. But when it comes to my man, I team my man. I don't play. Hey, girl, who you are? That's what I'm about to do. That's my man. What it say? That's my man. Thank you for my man. I don't know, but yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
for real.
I'm just cutting up, but I mean it though. I am team my man.
Yeah, I believe.
And I'm gonna respect him. And I'm not finna put him in uncomfortable situations
Exactly.
and make him
Exactly.
feel
Like
nothing like that.
most women do that, and
Yeah, they
when
do.
they do is trying to like get to know, like, I'm saying, like, who they're messing with, they will start like saying like they're insecure or this and that, like those kind of like stuff, like dumb down like the dude. You know what I'm saying? But the
Yeah,
whole time, like, yeah, but the whole time, you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to like find like what's going on. You feel me? So it's really crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I believe personally, mean, like, I don't think men and women should be friends, especially when you have like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like my number one thing.
You say you think who?
Said I think men and women should not like be like friends if they are like if they have a relationship.
Cause the stuff be messy, it do. It's like, boy, please. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, all those people can know people before you, and they could have good friends of
Right.
opposite sex, but
Yes.
it still
It's still
is
like
respect there.
boundaries. Right.
Yes, it is. Like I said, as far as my oldest child father, that's my guy. That's my dude. Anybody I get in a relationship with, they will know about him, like, because that's my guy. But guess what? We're not on the phone every day. I don't be out just taking rides with him, chilling with him,
Right.
lunch dates and all of that. No, it's respect there. But guess what? I'm not gonna play him like a ball head because I'm in a relationship with a man, though. You know, so if he called me, because sometimes he do, you want to talk and be like, you know what, I need some help on this, and tell me how, as a friend, I'm going to give him that, period. But it's respect there. Like, my man already know about this. Like, it's, and I'm not finna be trying to run off, creep off, talk and be in the
Right.
corner, and he come turn the light on, and I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to talk to her. No, I'm not finna do none of that. It's gonna be respect.
And then two, then it's a clear understanding for your man to expect that, like, okay, she's still cool with dude, but they just friends, so
Yes,
he might call at the house, you know what I'm saying, every once in a
yes,
while. He'll be
because
expected.
I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
I put that out there. I would tell anybody, even when I was married, my husband know, like, it was time, but this wasn't every day. This wasn't all day. And every month. My husband would know. My
Right.
oldest child father would call me, and then we'd get to talking, but I'd be right there in front of him. And we might talk for about 30, 45 minutes to an hour. But I'd be right there in front of him. It wasn't no disrespect. When he seen him, my child father, what's up with it, honored, respect him, shook his hand.
Yeah.
I didn't make him feel uncomfortable. I ain't all over there like, boy, all in my baby daddy's face. You're my belly boy. It just being disrespectful.
Right.
And doing things to uncover. No. But he knew that. Like,
Exactly.
he knew, and it was not ever a problem between my husband and my oldest child. But never.
Right.
Never.
And that's a good
Never
thing for your
created no
part for
animosity, hostility, none of that, because I kept things in its perspective place, and we
Exactly.
wasn't talking every 5
right.
seconds.
And that was a good thing for your part for communicating with him. You know what I'm saying about what, like, you know what I'm saying, your friend,
Yeah.
basically like your ex, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And like also like respecting him at the same time. Because one thing I noticed is like some people, right? Like let's just say like if they just communicate with you, that's like it. And then they're gonna like start like, you know what I'm saying, like overreacting like whenever like they see like the other person.
No.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's like some people that's what they do, like, or some people they will not communicate. They'll just go straight in. You know what I'm saying? They'll
I
just
know it
like
wasn't none.
they'll just
Yeah, I
like
get what you're saying.
wait for your reaction and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I ain't play none of
Yeah,
that. Mm-mm.
yeah, but that's good for your
They
part.
seen each other. They both spoke to each other. What's up with it? Dap each other, five each other. You know, like, I don't care if we was just passing by, and me and my husband could be together. They dap each other, say something to each other. My husband may get in the car, and I may be standing outside the car still talking for a minute, but it was not ever an issue, though. Like, he didn't ever, my husband ever had to say, well, why was you doing that, or why he do that, or why, none of that. Ever.
Do you
Ever.
think do you think it would have been different if it had not been for the child, for you not have for you if you had not had a child by him already? Do you think it would have been different? Like if he was just your ex, but y'all ain't have like that child together. You think like that can?
I mean, I don't know if it would have been different, but as far as I go, I don't get, if we ain't had no kids together. Use my ex so long, bye 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 bye. Like, we were not, no, straight up. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I can't answer that, because when it come to exes, it's like, bye. Like, what, if didn't have no kids together, what,
Yeah.
for me,
No, I got you.
bye. Like, what we hold on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have one, like, even one now. I see him, and I purchase stuff from him, or stuff that he be having, but that still is not like, it's like a passerby to
Right.
me. But it ain't like me and him be on the phone having conversations,
Right.
doing it. Cause how I feel about it is,
Right. And
how
it's
I
also
feel
like a
about
respect
it,
for you too.
yeah. How I feel about it is that baby, once we over, and especially we ain't got no ties, bye. It don't mean like down the road, once everything cool off, we gone. It could be like, hello, how you doing? And keep it moving. But we ain't finna be doing all that. Boy, no. The only reason I know you because you want to talk to me. We talked and that didn't work. So what we talking about now? How you doing to keep it moving?
Right.
Like, and I'm only
The
speaking
worst
to you
part
because
is
I know you.
the worst part is when they come and say, "I miss the old times."
Huh?
I
No,
said the worst part is
I
when
get
they
you.
try to come back. They
You know,
say,
I
"I miss
get
the
you.
old times."
And you know what, Sonny John, that do try to be the case sometimes. And I flat out, no.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's mostly a lot of times they're not expecting
Yeah, they
you to come back.
want to try to get back around too.
Yeah,
That's why
I
I
miss
say
the old
ain't
time.
nothing to really talk
I
Right.
miss
about. But the
the
only reason
old
I
Kanye.
know you is
Right.
because we used to talk. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm speaking to you today. Because we did used to talk. So it's like I know you by way of that. And now we don't talk no more. What else we gotta do? Like, what, we finna sit around and drink coffee together? Like, no. we not doing it. And you cool. And you know, most people be like, you know, we was better as friends then, and that could be the case, but we still not finna act like we finna got relationship and we finna be
Right.
no. Because at the end of the day, I still feel like it might not be on both parties. It could still be some hidden chemistry there. And the person, like Sonny John said, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to get back in. Nah. Uh-uh.
Right.
Then next thing you know, be like, I realize I miss you. I love you. It's bye.
And I
I
feel the
don't
same
play.
thing.
And that's why for that question, Tayshawn, I really can't answer because I don't play because once I'm done, bye. Well, we finna sit up and sing Kumbaya.
You know, mostly right whenever people get back
No,
into
I'm saying
relationship,
for me.
it doesn't last for a month.
What? What's your
Oh,
now?
I said like whenever like mostly right. I heard this like whenever people getting back into relationship, it doesn't last for a month.
Yeah, some cases, because some people have broken up and got back together and it actually worked. I watched the whole story of a man and a woman that broken up. They was married, broken, divorced, all that. And yeah, they went on did, but they got back with each other and married each other, and they've been together ever since. But most cases, yeah, because it's like what you forgot, what made you break up in the first place. And most time, 9 times out of 10, people ain't
Right.
changed. It just be a moment of that chemistry.
Realization.
Hey, people be having chemistry, and sometimes the chemistry ain't always we meant to live and be together and all of that. Sometimes the chemistry is just it can be on another level. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all know what I'm saying, but it doesn't
Station.
always. Yeah, it doesn't always mean like, and you know, people get back because of that little level of feel good, and they had that feel good moment, and then only to come to the realization that, oh yeah, outside of that, we really don't have nothing going
Right.
Mm.
on. So it just depends. I'm telling you, people be in all kind of situations for reasons, but I know it's for me. When it come to me, I don't know. They cool. I got a lot of them that I know, and people I ain't even touched, ain't had. But it's like we cool, but nah, I don't be doing a lot of kicking it and hanging out with
Yeah.
them. Oh, the
They need some mutual understanding
yeah.
and a mutual expectation. Man,
And it ain't
it's
no disrespect.
yeah.
Ain't no disrespect.
Man, this conversation was nice. I liked it, this conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
liked it, this live. I liked it, the understanding. I feel like you brought forth a lot of good points of understanding. They made me go like, hmm. And then it's like really, like you said, like who can come up here and dispute or debunk what you said because it's true. Like
Yeah.
expectations is needed. Like it's true.
If you
Even
were show me how you get around it.
yeah, even if you
Amen.
don't voice it, you still
So a
have
G.
expectations.
Yeah,
Even
everybody
unvoiced
got
expectation.
expectation.
Right. So let us. I
Even as
really pray
believers
that
too.
everybody that see this video that they debunk that theory that expectations are wrong in a relationship, and let the people start saying illegitimate expectations are wrong in a relationship, because expectations are needed. It's a must. It's a must.
Mm.
Mm-mm. So I don't want people saying no more expectations. And I ask people, well, what should happen then? If you don't have expectations, what? Maybe like, because people start coming to the fact of expecting, thinking a person is supposed to. Yes, you do. I think you do. If you said that, do it. Yeah, I expect that. I'm only expecting it because you said it. And I got some humanly expectations too, that I expect you to be honest, even though you may not, but I'm expecting it because that would be the right thing to do. But you might not be, so I gotta watch you though. But anything that come out your mouth, I'm expecting that it's set in stone.
Mm. One thing I believe is like most women, when they get in a relationship, they do that to marry, right? That's one
To
thing I
marry,
feel. Yeah, to marry. Most, like a lot of women, I believe.
they have expectations to marry.
Yeah, no, like when they get into relationship, they expect to like marry that person. You feel me?
No, no,
Like,
no, no, Sonny J,
like
no.
let's just say like the first time like you be with a
No,
man.
no, no. Listen to me. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no. Debunk that theory. No, 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 no. I'm telling you, no. Because if you think like that, you will be thinking that every woman gets into a relationship expected to marry. No, that used to be the heart of a woman. That it really did. Like women, that is more. I can get where you kind of coming
I'm not
from.
really talking
Is
about American women though. Like modern women. Talking about like most women, like talking about women, not like modern women, like women.
no, because you know what? That kind of go back to you. You know what? When it comes to relationships, which this could be a whole nother topic too. When it comes to relationship, it's really all on what a person is looking for. And everybody and every woman is not looking for marriage or looking to expecting to get married. For real. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's really weird. And I'm
And
just
that's
telling you what
why.
goes down, what people say, and this is facts. You'll be shocked and amazed at reasons people get married. And all of it ain't for love, which I don't think that you should marry nobody just because of love. Just because of love alone.
You
But
say you shouldn't marry because of what?
you should marry nobody just because love alone.
Okay.
That's it. That's a whole nother subject. And I got my reasons for saying that, and I had to learn. Love ain't enough. Love ain't enough. It's part of it. But you'll be so, I'm telling you, baffled and behooved to find out why people marry. And they ain't even talking about modern women. Let's go back to the traditional women back in the day. It wasn't a love. How could it been love, or even because you love somebody, when a lot of times marriages was arranged? If we really want to go back to ancient time, they had to grow to love them people. They didn't even know the people. So, and you got people that marry just because of a status quo of what position to put their family in, or the status that it would give them. Some people don't even marry for money. They marry just because of who the peer person is, right? And how it's benefiting them and how they gonna gain access and all that. And so I'm telling you, yeah, Yahweh, hey, no, everything ain't about. And I'm a person, I love love. I tell people all the time, I love love. You hear me? But I also had to learn and discover that what I love and love ain't what everybody's doing. Straight up. But I still do believe in genuine, authentic, sincere, godly love between a man and a woman. But no, on today's day, No.
It's deep.
People marry for all kind of reasons. And even going back to outside the modern day woman, the modern day, even the traditional women, they marry just for the safety of them and their family. It had nothing to do with loving that man, but that man could be the source to be provision for their family. But that woman, she did grow to love that man. She could fell in love with that man. She served that man. She was a wife to the man. But it didn't have nothing to initially or originally do with um love. It could just been like, I need to do this because I know this is a way out for our family, or this is a way that we could. And in some instances, that's why I say that's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna get into that. But just know that everybody do not marry, or every woman do not want to just marry. No, she doesn't. Mm-mm. No, she doesn't. Yeah. And that's modern and traditional. Because back in the days, marriages were arranged. And really, a woman didn't even have a lot of say-so in it.
Yeah, hold on.
So they was getting with people that they didn't even know. So
Yeah.
that's why I say love is not enough, and it's soothing. You want to love the person that you're with. You want to be attracted to them. You want to be all of that, but that ain't enough because they cute. It ain't enough because of how I feel about you. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to start another topic, because that marriage is business. Like most people don't like that. I did a couples convo like that when I used to do couples convo, and boy, I'm telling you, that was baby, that was what you call it, a party favor, a party teaser, cause baby, it got the people active. People was upset, people was in their feelings, people was mad. It was very little that was like, yeah, I get where you come flat out, but
Yeah.
oh, people was upset, baby. They like, oh, that's the guy I shouldn't get married. So you mean to tell me I ain't got none of what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, don't let just love be the reason you marry someone. Because if you do that for that, woe be unto that man. Baby, you might have some sticking out to do. Oh, it's if it make it. Because marriage is more than just some emotions and feelings. It's a business. And people don't like that. I mean, I had people, one person start dropping tears. Like, so you mean it? Hey, couples combo, they start dropping tears.
That's
You
my
mean to tell
only
me
one.
that
Yeah.
that I can't be with nobody just because I love people? It's a business now. Yeah, it is. And it's best you address it as such and don't be just led by no love, by no feelings. Because, baby, let me tell you, love. Yeah. What about the day you don't feel the love you have for
What's
them?
up with culture Asian?
So we're gonna have to do a topic on that though. But hey, we've been on forever. It's been lit. But we're gonna have to do a topic on that. We're gonna have to make that a topic. That marriage is a business.
Mm.
Because it is.
Yeah.
That's if don't nobody try to come and run with it. But it don't matter though, because we're gonna talk our talk. Period.
Well, Servienta, I always appreciate you coming on the live, blessing the mic with the wisdom and the understanding. So, man, most definitely, man, son of John, thank you for tapping in, brother.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, that's my guy.
Shout out to Martez for joining with us tonight as
Yes,
well. Man, and everybody else that will soon see, the highlights. Man, hopefully they catch on to this wisdom.
period. Period. And like I said, if anybody have still a different view, even after seeing this, even seeing the actual live or seeing it when you break it down, please hop up under the videos
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
dispute and put
Yes.
a comment, and we can talk about it. I will get back with you. We can talk about it, and we can get into it too as well. And also, I thank you, Tay, Young Certified, for letting me come on your
Yes,
platform.
ma'am.
If you like to hear more from me as well, you can go to my
Yes,
page
ma'am.
and you can follow me because I be lit over there.
Hmm.
Mm,
On the
mm,
daily day.
I be lit. Oh, he said married 13, divorced for 5. Right. Hey, so you
Oh yeah, we
period.
definitely
You
gotta do that then.
period. Hey, cultural. You period. Probably can add something to this topic because I be trying to tell people. I'm telling you, I had people crying. I had people crying in couples combo. I'm gonna start that back up though, couples combo, because it used to be lit. But baby, I had people upset, people dropping tears, people be thinking that when I told them that marriage is a business, and baby, oh, they got upset. So Tay, we might have to run that on one of these Fridays
Mm-hmm.
and get into it, and I'll break it down. The
Yes,
reason
ma'am.
that I say this facts, because I tell people, and anybody that know me, if I don't know something, my son gonna tell me she finna go do research. But the first thing I'm gonna tell you, if you ask me something I don't know, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. My son silly. He's I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, and then I am. I'm gonna tell you like I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna
Right.
pray about that. Or I'm gonna go do some research. I ain't got no problem with saying that. But when I say what I say, I know what I'm talking about. Love is not enough. Marriage is a business. And if you don't address the marriage as such, and you address it by love alone, woe be unto that
Mm.
marriage. No, for real, seriously. And I'm telling, like, then nobody tell me like uncultured Asian. I was married for 12 and divorced
Mm.
6 months, going on 8, because I got divorced in June last year. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. I know what I'm talking about because a lot of what I talk about come from my experience and the wisdom of God and the understanding. So I know what I'm talking about. So the quicker people address relationships as a business and stop. Okay, I period. Hey, so Tay.
Mm-hmm.
So Tay, uncultured agency, and let me know. I definitely want to talk about it, add my experience. So when
Most
we do that
definitely.
topic, we gonna add that topic on our roster, and we'll put the itinerary out there. But I want you to reach out to this person so they can't, because for real, I mean, this what this all about. You know, people can add their experience to it and they facts and they truths too. But I'm telling you, and if anybody get this message, do not, I tell you, I repeat it, do not think that love is enough in any relationship, baby. You gotta address a relationship as a business also.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
That's deep.
Hmm.
Subscribe to my
He said,
YouTube channel.
how they say know your role and it ain't a business. Oh, but it is. Oh, but it is.
I mean,
Like I said, when we get
look,
into it,
like, well, if you think about it, like, if you tell a woman, or like, if a woman tells a guy, like, they just want to stay, you know what I'm saying, without like getting married.
To be the head, he should lead. So what that mean? It's telling you right there.
he the manager.
You the manager.
Period. But we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get into it though. But yeah, we definitely gonna bring this topic forward because I'm telling
Mm.
you, it get people in their
Mm.
feet. But like I said, when people get out their emotions
Mm-hmm.
and get into wisdom, reality, and facts, yeah, hey, period. It'll cut all the mess out because ain't nothing that I'm saying is wrong. It's straight truth. Like I said, and when we get into it, I'm coming with facts. I ain't coming with no opinions.
Right.
I ain't coming with how I feel. Now, do not get me wrong. Love is very important in a relationship. But if you base a relationship off of love alone, woe be unto that relationship.
And we gonna leave it right there, y'all.
Period.
Y'all.
Okay, we gon' right. Okay. So thank you, Tay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if you see this at a later time, please go follow Stimulators, Tim, Cole. Cause I'll be lit over there and I'll be having a lot going on and also as well too.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay tuned to every what is it, the first and the third Friday out of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tay will do live on a topic as well. So yeah, thank you, Tay, as well. Thank you, Son of John. Now I'm finna go eat because I'm starving.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So I'm
ma'am.
out of here.
Y'all have
Subscribe
a
to my
Peace.
blessed
YouTube
night.
channel. Listen to Sana John, the best
Yes.
artist.
Period. The
What
best order y'all
what's
heard
funny,
from me.
Tayshawn? When was the last time
What
you
you
released a
say?
song?
What you said, Son of John. I don't know why he laughed because he do too much to it. Okay, Tay, I'm out
Yeah,
of
you
here.
guys have a good night.
You
Yes, ma'am.
too.